Hey guys, so we're back again with another episode on this 75 Westie. This episode we are going to get this engine tore down, cleaned up, sandblasted, new seals, new gaskets, new plugs, new coil. The plugs, coil, cap, rotor, all of that is still on the way. So for now, if it does not come in time, I know what I have on it is good. I did get this engine to run, be it a very short run, but it did run. But until those come in, the old stuff will work fine, but I do have the new gasket kit, everything that I need as far as putting it back together. I just need to get the coil, wires, all those little small odds and ends to come in the mail. So I am going to vacuum this. It has got a bunch of just crud. This is all of the old gasket that is just crumbling to nothing. And then I will soak down hardware, everything that it needs, while I am doing that, so that way when it is time to remove the hardware, hopefully it won't snap. I'm not very hopeful on that, so we'll see how that goes. So I guess the first thing would be getting all the random hoses and such off. This one, she is not doing much. It is pretty solid. And it just split. I mean, there's no play in that whatsoever. Oh yeah, look at there. I figured there would be lots of that. Another reason I'm just so happy that I'm going to do it this way instead of just throwing it on the road, because it would have overheated for sure. And then we would have big issues. Yeah, I'll just pop the entire cap off instead of taking off each individual plug. I came out earlier in the week, got the garage almost entirely cleaned up. I guess the next thing, you can take this, could have swore that was a 13, but came out earlier in the week, got the garage pretty much cleaned up. Yeah, this is the one. We've got a stud that likes to come out. And I don't think that there was any damage, so also I see what it looks like. I hate this GoPro. Never wants to focus on anything. But yeah, if any of you use a GoPro Black 9, I believe is what it's called, let me know what these settings should be, because like it's focusing somewhat on the wrench, but when it comes to the stud it does not. Everything in the background is focused. I don't get it, but yeah, there's definitely a Loctite on here. If you haven't already, go check out the previous video of me removing this engine. Also, there's, that ain't working, another video, actually a couple other videos on this bus. One of when I first got it, power washing it after it had sat in the woods for 20-something years. That was one of the first videos that I made for my YouTube channel, actually. I still feel like I've got a lot to learn when it comes to this, but so far it's going good. I need a better handle on camera work. The camera work and editing, there we go, definitely needs work. And I also need to stop saying so much. Very bad habit to get out of. Also, you need a beverage when doing this. It helps. And if I remember correctly, it was very hard to get this on. And I don't think that it's seated properly, which, if I were trying to drive it as is, would not have worked very well. I don't feel like it should be that tough. Alright, what is the issue here? I'm going to very lightly tap on it. Yeah, I don't know if the studs are bent or what, but she doesn't fit on there the greatest. Let's see if I can get this off without destroying this gasket, just because it is brand new. And it was just recently when this carb was rebuilt. Alright, I guess we'll keep on with this section here. I lucked out in the previous video. I'll put it up in the corner there. Maybe, yeah, I think it was the previous video. I said that I was not going to replace the axle boots, or at least I wasn't going to replace all the axle boots because the one was busted. Turns out that the axles are the same for I think all the years of the buses, and I bought brand new ones for the green bus. That's a long ways from being on the road, so I'll just stick all new axles, CV joints, boots, everything on in one go. So that kind of works out. So I think these are as loose as they need to be. As grimy as they are, they still turn really nice. I forgot this one, so. There we go. So that is loose. Need to come around to the sides and see how bad it's going to fight me to remove these. I have a feeling these are going to be very difficult to remove. No broken. Wow, that wasn't even tight. That was not even tight at all. So somebody has definitely been messing around in here. Yeah, that's a little worrying. Speaking to the last owner, he said that he used to drive this quite often. He was the one that put the carb on. And changed it from fuel injection over to carbureted, obviously. But he said that he drove it quite often. That one wasn't tight at all either. So I'm kind of wondering what he's done in here. Let's speed this process up a little bit. I hear you screaming, but shouldn't be much impact going on. With as loose as they were. Yeah, super loose. Don't use chrome on impacts, kids. It's not good. I shouldn't be doing it, but like I said, there's very little resistance. It's not gonna be an issue. This side might be a different story, so we will try it with the ratchet at first. Yeah, very, very little pressure did it take to break that free. Yeah, they are incredibly loose. Very little pressure. Look, I didn't even fight that. It was the weight of the ratchet. So let's speed it back up here. Nobody wants to sit here and watch me fight some hardware coming off. Need to break that seal. There we go. I think she's free now. Yep, there we go. Alright, there's 4 washers down here. Do not lose them. 4. No debris in there, so that's good. Before I do anything else, I'm going to take the vacuum and suck that up before it falls down in there, so we definitely don't want that. It's one grimy engine, that's for sure. Lots of leaks that were left unattended for quite a while, it seems. That is off as well. Okay, so that just sits down on there. That's good to know. So, that's off of there. Stick everything on my tray here. Now I'm gonna get some shop rags shoved down in there just to make sure that there's no issues. The gasket was toast. There's not much left to it. I'm gonna need another rag. That one came off as a whole piece. Alright, all the holes are plugged. Next, I guess I might be able to take this. I think I can take this fan shroud off now. looks like we're missing hardware right there, so that was never put back on. Let's see. Looking at what I'm looking at. Yep. So let's take, before you start cranking down on flatheads, make sure that you clean the groove out so you can get a good bite on it. That was very easy. Not bad at all. If this goes even the slightest bit better of removing these than it did on my bug engine, I'll be a happy man, because that was a nightmare. So nothing there. Let's see, this is held on down here. Clean the groove out, 'cause she's grimy. I love these Harbor Freight screwdrivers. Main reason I bought them is for the, what is it, a number 4 Phillips? Number 4 Phillips for the doors, door hinges rather, on a bug. Did not have a screwdriver that size, and it came in a 4 or a 6 pack, and they were incredibly cheap, and these are pretty decent. As far as using them on a daily basis as a actual mechanic, probably not going to hold up very well, but for me farting around in the garage, they do perfectly fine. Alright, 2 incredibly grimy screws down here. That one's not even tight. Wiggles around. I don't know if that's a captive nut down there that is no longer captive, or if it's just a regular nut. But she spins. Oh no, it's just the screw spinning. That is very surprising. Because when I was wiggling it around, it felt like the captive nut was moving as well, but it was not. I guess that is one good thing about having a grimy engine. They shouldn't be too rusty. Now, y'all pay attention to how this comes apart, because I have no idea how it goes back together. One more grimy, nasty piece taken apart. Let's see, this side's free. Let's move over here. And I'm going to say one here, one back here. You can't see my screwdriver yet, but I'm just going to keep going with not soaking them down, because they spoke too soon. So let's try that again. Can't see it down here, but there's actually 2 of them. One here. Let's see, what can you see? Nothing at all. So, move this non-flexible hose out of the way. There's one here, one here. Seems like it is very small in the camera, so I don't know if you will be able to see that or not. Just take my word for it. I know I can't get a good grip on that one, at least where it was, so I'm just gonna go ahead and use the wrench. That one was pretty tight. That was about the tightest piece of hardware that I've taken off so far. One, two, the washer stayed on that one, but that's okay. And three. So are we free now? That's not connected. Oh, dropped a washer. Oh, we are not. We had one hiding. Everything is just caked. That one was pretty tight too. She's still pretty tight. There we go. So I think this is the last one for this back tin. Alright, let's see. Are we good? We are good. One rear engine 10. Now I guess this one, we already got that there, that there. Let's see, we've got one right there, and I think that might be it. I don't believe you have to take the distributor off. So, right beside the distributor. Look, just scraping that out, it turned. Didn't it? No, maybe it didn't. Looked like it did. I'll have to watch that in editing and see. Cannot do it one-handed. The main reason I decided to pull this engine is because of the oil sending unit. She is spitting out oil all around it, and I figured that that would be an issue, so decided to drop the engine. Glad I did, because see the mouse nests, that goes way on down in there, so that would have been no bueno. That one's gonna be tricky. Cannot get a good bite on it. Watch this last one be the one that gets me. Got her to move, so I think we're in the clear. Just going to very carefully wiggle it back and forth. This one is going to be a pain. If it messes up the groove. Push down extremely hard while turning, so that way there's no cam out. This one seems like it doesn't fit as far down into the groove also. The others, I felt like there was a really good bite, but this one did not want to cooperate. Alright, so any others hiding? There is. So as far as on this side, oh, where are you at? As far as on this side, that was the only one that I see. But on this side, there was the first one I took out. And then there is another one right beside the oil pressure sending unit. Yeah, see, that groove goes way farther in than that other one that we just took off. Different hardware, possibly? Yep, need two hands again. Yeah, so far all but that one have come out pretty easy. So let's see. I don't think that's holding anything on. Yeah, I think we're free. Let's see the big reveal. Also, let's see if there are any living residents in this house motel. Also, let's see if there's any living residents in this mouse hotel. One mouse house. The tinware looks pretty good, actually. I see some goop was put here. Not sure what that's for. Or rather, I know what it was for. He was trying to cover up the holes, but I don't know what the holes were for. So I will have to research that. What? That was off to the side, so I don't know. Maybe something to do with the fuel injection. So let me get a bucket. Definitely need a trash bucket. I don't feel anything still in there. Looks like this was seat cushions from the front. Maybe that's why they're so stiff now. They stole all my padding. Acorn. Also, she is packed in there. No way that that was gonna cool. I'm glad that it didn't run any longer than it did, because that could have been bad. Should have known, should have known. Also, look at there. That would be a spark plug that has done a little bit of damage to the tins. So somebody did not remember that it was there. And just cram the tins down on it. Now we have a little bit of damage. I don't think it's an issue. They're not broken. They're just worn down a little bit, so. Very interesting. Let's see, are these... I don't see a name. It does say T2 on one of them, though. Is that an original? Maybe it says T2, I don't know. Maybe I'm imagining it. We'll go with me imagining it, because... yeah, alright, let's see, that... Whoa! That is not doing a single thing. Look at how packed that is. Oil soaked, packed. Yeah, this was a neglected engine for sure. I guess work on getting this one off next. I don't see as much mousage in there. We do have these wires. I'm guessing shove them back down in there. Although I don't know, because I don't know if those connectors are going through or not. Probably should have went the other way, huh? If anything, I can just cut it. So. Not the wires, but the rubber grommet. Yeah, there's no way that's going over that, so. Let's see, is this free now? It is not. Oh, I got one right there. Nope, two of them. And one there. Also, I'm not really keeping track of where I throw those screws because I got new ones. Let's see. So there's two. You looking at what I'm looking at? There's two of them right here that were not on the other side, so. Ooh, that didn't like that. Might need vice grips on that one, sadly. Oh, that one too. I can't get a straight shot on it, so let me move you. Yeah, they don't want to move. One snapped bolt. Wasn't even a bolt. It was the stupid yeah, that thing. So that sucks. But she's free now, so let's see what prizes we have on this side. Not so much mouse nest as there is mud wasp. Let's see if I can get this grommet through here so I can get this off. Okay, that's out of the way. So yeah, lots of mud wasp, a little bit of mouse, primarily mud wasp though, so Alright, so this came off as well. Also metal. Also will be sandblasted. So I'm guessing that's the heater box that is, hey, rusted away. So that sucks. So I guess now this bad boy, pretty sure that's a 10. This definitely is not meant to be there. Let's get the rest of this off of here. Guessing they were trying to use that as a ground. What size is that? Looks like a 14 or a 15 maybe. It is not a 15. And it's kind of dirty, so it might be a 13 actually. The grime made it look bigger than it was. Could be a joke there, I guess. Where's the 10? Now I'm gonna be able to use the ratcheting side. That's the only downside that I've really seen to these ratcheting crescent wrenches. The ratcheting end is so fat that it's hard to get it into spots. Another joke there, I guess. Alright. My coil. She's definitely banged up, even before I dropped it. It's a original Bosch though. But she has seen better days. Alright, so hardware. Still unsure on that. I did watch a video of a guy tearing this down, but that was while I was at work, and I don't remember. From what I remember, this front cover just comes off, so I'm gonna, yep, there's one down there, one there, one on this side. So let's finish taking these off. Actually, the bottom two weren't bad at all. You can't see where I am. I'm right there. Sorry for the bad camera angles right now. It's really hard to change the height on this camera stand. It's extremely old. I bought it back in, I don't know, maybe the 2000s. When I bought my, actually it might have been, yeah, 2000 and, I'd say 2008, back when I bought my Nikon D60, when I had my Lexus IS300. Loved that car. I'll throw a picture up in the video. If any of you care to see it. Also, I don't think this is supposed to be routed this way. Could be wrong, but I don't believe so. But yeah, I love that car. It was a blast to drive. Got to move you so I don't hit you. Oh man, your battery is low. That sucks. These GoPro batteries do not last at all. So I'm gonna have to look in my book and see what that goes to. I don't know if the alternator has to come off first. Looks like that. Let's take this oil dipstick out. It does smell a little bit like gas. So we've got, looks like a 10 there. Quite possibly. Ah, shoot, there goes my glove. That stinks. What's that? Cover? I'm not sure what that is, but there's definitely one there, so let's get that off. The elusive 10mm is lost already. Go figure, right? Yeah, that is. Holding that on. It would be nice if I had this on an engine stand. See a lot of goop here. I don't think that is factory. Yeah, looks like they didn't have a gasket around this. Oil fill, so they made one out of some silicone or something. Not the correct. Well, I forgot to turn the camera back on, but I had to remove the nut from right here. That was the adjusting arm for the alternator. And then I had to take the through bolt out. So that's just gonna sit where it is for now. I think there's a slight oil leak, but I am out of battery on the camera, so I'm gonna let you charge up while I finish taking the rest of this hardware off. I think I see one more screw. Actually, let me see if I can get it off before I put you on charge. Don't you do it. They're being difficult. I think that is everything. Is that a captive nut? Yep. There's one on the bottom that I didn't see. So that's out. Let's see, was that the last thing holding it? I believe so. I think now. Should come out of there. That was some kind of gasket. There we go. Woo, look at the greasy, oily mess that is. Yeah, she is just caked everywhere. It's going to be a whole lot of cleaning on this one for sure. I don't know how this comes off. Does that come off? Or is that just part of the engine? I don't know. Like I said, I don't know anything about these engines at all. I know they're fairly close to the other bug and bus engines, but they are also a lot different as well. So I'm gonna put you on charge. I'm gonna take a second to clean up all of my mess, get some new gloves. It's 9 o'clock. So yeah, let's do that. So while I was waiting for the battery to charge on the GoPro, I was messing around with the borescope. Just looking into the bores, seeing how they look. They all look really good. It moves freely. Oh yeah, then there's that. Let's venture down into the hole. That shouldn't be there. Yeah, I don't think I can get the camera there, but that sucks. So all 3 cylinders that I looked at before this one, they were amazing. Very little scoring on the cylinder walls. They looked really good. And then I get to this one, and there's a gigantic hole in the piston. So that puts a kink into things. I was hoping to have this video wrapped up within the next couple days, but it seems like I'm going to be tearing into this engine a little more than I wanted to. So there's that. So yeah, it looks like this is going to be the yeah, so I'm gonna have to do a lot more saving, seeing as this engine has the Porsche name tied to it. Parts are ridiculously priced because it's a Porsche. So that really sucks. That is my luck. That's how it always goes. I can't seem to get a win ever. Just looking at, oh, that piston is just complete garbage. Kind of sucks. Was not expected at all, since when I got the bus, there were pistons. Actually, I don't know if it was, yeah, I think it was pistons and jugs in the front seat. I don't know if they went to this bus, but definitely needs some now. So they were used. I'll have to take a look. Maybe I can take one of those pistons and one of those jugs and slap it on here, but I don't know. I wouldn't want to go through the work of tearing it down that far and then not putting new on. So I'm going to have to go and assess how much extra that's going to cost, because I definitely do not have that right now. So that is a bummer. But I did make good progress tonight. Got a lot of the engine tins off. I've still got to take the front fan off so I can get this other cover off, but even the little bit of battery that you got now, you're still at 7%, so not enough to do anything tonight. Sadly, that is the end of this for right now. It's not the end of the video, but it's the end of work for tonight, because I need to go in and have a beer on this one. So that sucks. Hey guys, another night out in the garage. As you can see, I've done a little bit of reorganizing in here. I took all but 2 of the engines out. I left my good engine for my Bug, and then the other engine that came out of the Super Beetle, the 72 Super Beetle that I got a while back. Both of those are running engines. The other 6 are out in the shed, so that way it gives me a little bit more room to work in here. Got me a recliner to put out here, so whenever I need to relax I can do that. But from the last video, or at least the last clip that I put on my channel, I found some damage in cylinder number 1, I believe it is. So actually no, that's cylinder 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, that sucks. So hopefully it shows up. If not, I will record this and put it on the video. But yeah, that sucks. All the other cylinders looked great. Let's see. Yeah, it is. Got it hand tight. Yeah, it's just my luck. It's the way that it goes. So let's see here. I mean, I'm not gonna say great. They're not horrible. It's definitely got some junk in there, but there is no hole. That's the main thing. It's really hard to, there we go. It's definitely got some crap carbon on the piston, but so this engine is the, I believe it's a 1 year only, 1975 1800 cc. So I kind of lucked out that it is that engine, because looking at the 2.0s, the cylinders and or the jugs and pistons are about right at 600 bucks or so. Lucked out on this one. They're about 370, so they are already ordered and on their way. So I need to put my borescope down in the case just to make sure that there's no damage, because the pieces of this piston are not on top, so they've got to be in the bottom. Hopefully there is no damage down there, especially because I did order the pistons. I didn't want to go this far into this engine, mainly because this is supposed to be a quick, easy, get it on the road type deal, but seeing as there's a hole in the piston, I can't exactly do that. Yeah, so that puts us here. I need to strip everything, sandblast everything. This looks okay until you get here. It's kind of a weird break, so I'm hoping that this is like a collar, but I don't know. Let's get everything torn down. Let me put you in your stand. I guess we'll start with taking the front off here. And get this fan out the way, and the rest of this stuff, and then we'll get to the heads and jugs and all of that fun stuff. So we've got 3 here. Let's see, is it this size? I believe so. What is that, a 13? Yep. There's a good bit of oil on that one. This will be, oh, there's a good bit of oil on that one. So does that mean that the front, what is it called? The front gasket, crank seal or something along those lines. So it's gonna be a little loud for a couple minutes. Gotta run the heat. It's pretty cold out here tonight, so let's see. So when you go to put it back on, make sure you line that up. Set that off to the side. So yeah, I need to take these 4 off, turn that heat up a little bit. It is freezing tonight. Oh no, no oil. Alright, so I don't know. Well, I guess we are. This alternator, I've yet to figure out how that comes apart. There's a I don't know if that is a breather tube, maybe to cool the alternator, I'm not sure, but it goes from here back to that part of the alternator, so you've got to get that off of there before that'll come free. There we go. Yeah, it is. It's a little breather tube, so it cools off the alternator. That thing is gunky too. It's bad. Alright, so you do have wavy washers. So just remember when you go to put this back together to put the wavy washers on before you do the here you go, look at what I'm looking at. The 4 fan bolts. Or nuts rather. Okay, so one thing I did forget, the wire right here, that goes down on this pulley right here to your thermostat. So you gotta undo this wire so that way this will this piece here will come free. Sadly, I think this thermostat is bad because I'm pretty sure it is in the open position and it should not be. Let's see if I can get it with the wrong tool. You don't have to completely take it off, just enough for it to slide out. There we go. Yeah, she is definitely gunky. Also, I'm not sure what that was connected to. Alright, so now we're starting to look more like a Volkswagen engine. So there's my engine code, ED106135. That is a 1975, 1 year only, 1800 cc. That oil cooler, man. Alright, let's go turn this heat off. Much better. I don't like running that too much because I don't have a carbon monoxide detector out here. And I really don't feel like dying. So, next step, I guess will be this. So, definitely don't want to lose that. It's a little plastic, I think it's a gasket that goes for that just to block air. And that's where that needs to be. So I'm just gonna slip that back on there so I don't lose it. Also, we've got a bunch of spider webs. Yeah, she definitely needed some love before getting back on the road, so. Let's see, I guess take off this oil cooler. Oh, look, that just slips right up, so. Yeah, oil cooler. 10 millimeters, I believe. What is that? Not sure what that is. I don't think it's part of the engine. Yeah, I'll keep it just in case. So the pistons and jugs, just ordered them today, so that's got multiple washers. Let's see here. It's got a wavy washer, a thick washer, and that's it. So, thick washer went first. Here we go. Thick washer was on there first, and then the wavy washer, and then the nut. Yeah, so I'll probably just take this oil cooler and soak it in some gas. Because she needs lots of love. Can't even see through it. Let's see. Should be able to, oh, a little bit of light. Not much at all. So that would not have been good. She wouldn't have, yeah, if I had have tried to drive this at all, most likely I would have overheated, so. Good call. The main reason I didn't, and I decided to just do a quick refresh on this, was because, get out of my way, wire. It was mainly because of this oil pressure sending unit. So I guess because of the hole in the piston, the air was being pumped back into the block. All the compression from that cylinder was being pumped back into the block. So it was just pushing oil out everywhere it could. At least that's what I think that it was doing. So oil was spurting out around this. Pretty much around everything, so a good idea to definitely take this down and redo it. Alright, so it's a little bit later. Yet again, I've got the heat on because it's just absolutely freezing out here today. I guess next step will be this heater box. I guess it's a heater box. entire stud. So I don't know if there's another one. Going to assume yes. Yep, another one way up in there. That wasn't tight at all. Not sure if you can see what I'm seeing, but right here on this side is the other one, and it was not tight. One ugly ass heater box out of the way. So there's the thermostat, and see how you can see between it. I believe it is in the failed position. Yeah, most definitely. So that sucks. I don't think they make that style anymore. And when you can find a good used one, I believe they are pretty expensive. At least they are for the bugs. I'm going to assume with this engine being associated with the Porsche engine, it's probably just as expensive. So, next step, I'm not sure. I guess we could probably, nope, we don't want to take that off till we drain the oil. Let's try to find something to drain that oil. All right, I heard you. Let's pop the valve covers. And also throw my screwdriver. Huh. Well, damn, they look nice. We got a little bit of surface rust, but they look good. Way better than what my bug looked. Yeah, there's definitely some rust forming. I mean, it did sit in the woods for 20 some years, so yeah, that's not bad at all. I'm pleased with that. I'm gonna put this back on. Put it back on so I can drain the oil first. So I'm gonna let that piss out for a little while, and then I'll bring you back when it's done. Let's see, do you think I'm gonna drop it in the bucket of oil? It scared me for a second. I thought that was metal, but what is it? That was a chunk of something. It is not magnetic. It's also not hard. It seems solid, but it's not. It's squishy. Is that? I'm not sure. Whatever it is, there's more. You see the... Let's see how I can do this. Right there. Huh. But the strainer doesn't look bad. It's not packed full of stuff, any crud or anything like that, so that's a good sign. There is one piece of stuff there, and then, I mean, there's chunks on top, but it's not caked like some that I've seen, so that's good. I'm actually going to stick that back on and put the nut back on it, so that way when I flip it back up, actually, let's not do that. Let's tilt it while it's off. Yeah, that's what I thought. A little bit more coming out. Ooh, that seems like there might have been some water in there. Yeah, definitely something that is not oil, for sure. I'm gonna do this really quick because it's going on the floor. But you look right here, that's not oil. That's oil. That's not. So hopefully there's not a lot of it in there. So I guess we'll see. All right, let's get this head off. That valve cover just likes to come off of there, don't it? So these are a little bit different than the Bug. They've got a spring that has to go back in that holds the push rods in there. So we've got 4 smaller bolts in the middle. All right, so you've got your spring that holds the push rods in. You've got the 4 smaller bolts that hold the rocker assemblies on there, and then you've got the 4 big bolts on the inside of the head plus 4 on the outside. It's pretty much like the Bug, a little bit different mainly because of the spring. You want to pay attention to the orientation that it is in at the moment. Actually, no, that is not for the push rods themselves. It's for the push rod tubes. Sorry about that. But yeah, there is a slight bit of surface rust. I think it will be okay. The springs have a little bit on them. I'm going to put this in the ultrasonic cleaner when I take it out because it needs a good cleaning. Let's get these zipped off here. So they are compressed with a spring in the middle. See that? So it will come apart. So make sure you keep them compressed. A good trick is to get a couple, like a nail or something, and stick through there, or if you have a bolt that'll fit, that works as well. What are you doing there, camera? So here we go, just 2 nails. It's not enough pressure that it's going to damage anything, but holds the assembly in there nice and neat. So when you put it on your bench, you can keep it in the orientation that it should be. All right, so that's out. Here is our push rod. And it does still have oil in it. Seems to be in pretty good condition. Doesn't seem like it has a bend or anything in it. Fairly straight, so. So I will keep track of how they came out and the hole that they came out of. So you see there is a lip. I can feel it with the glove on this end down here, so I don't know if that is good or bad. Doesn't seem like it would be good. Yes, they do rotate, but shouldn't, well, that's not good. So is that supposed to be like that? I don't believe so. That one's like it too. That's bad. What is going on here? They are definitely eating away. So there's definitely something going on with this engine. Most likely why the piston has a hole in it. This is on the opposite side, so I guess once we tear into it further, we'll see what is going on. But that is not a good sign at all. So I believe these are a 15. Yes, that is correct. There is a order you should go in. There's a order I'm not going to go in. I won't completely loosen them all the way. That one wasn't very tight. That one wasn't tight either. All right, they're loose. Let's zip these out real quick. So I'm going to assume, like the bug, there's going to be a thick washer. That last washer I just took off is different. I'm going to say somebody is probably fucked around in here and screwed something up, because that shouldn't be different like that. So that's a bit worrying. Alright, let's see, before I go trying to take this off, I'm going to put this back on. Man, somebody's just caked this. So I'm gonna take a second and scrape some of this crap off, vacuum it out, so that way when I do take the heads off, stuff isn't falling down into the crank, or into the case rather. Hey, let's see if she'll come off. You don't want to hit too hard on the fins just because that would suck to break one, but using this soft rubber hammer shouldn't be too bad. It's falling apart every time I hit it. Don't do this. Oh, forgot. Shroud tubes. These are nice because you don't have to take the head off to paint. I think that's what's holding it actually. There is a tin here. That's exactly what it is. So I'm gonna stop y'all, get this head to where it's almost off, and then I'll bring you back before it comes all the way off. I got that tin off of there. Let's see if the head will come off now. It should. I think that's all that was holding it. Yeah, it comes off like butter now. Let me go turn this heat off. Keeps getting worse and worse as we go on. Well, there's that. That is horrible. That doesn't seem good either. But then there's also that. What in the hell has gone on in this engine? This is the side that has the hole. There's very little damage. This is the side without the hole. I don't know how this thing ran. I had it running. I don't know how, but it definitely ran. So we've got a valve there that has got a hole in it, and then you've got the head here There's also a crack I can see in the head. So yeah, the heads are trash. I did not want to do all of this. So we've got damage in that piston. With there being a crack in the head there, we're kind of dead in the water. So I guess what we'll do is we'll continue to take it down farther. Seems like there's an awful lot of play. So yeah, I think this engine is probably not good. But let's see how it goes. We got rings that are just... Yeah, so the rings, lots of play. I'm gonna assume that's probably not a good sign. Jesus, man. So let's take a look at this right here. Look at that piston. That's not good. Also, it looks like there may be rust in there. There's my light. So confused. I'm just very confused. Alright, we've got 3 minutes before I run out of memory. Piston is off. This thing is rough. Not much left of that. There's the bottom. Looks like whatever came out did dent that there. Also, I think that's a bit too much play. So I'm going to continue to tear this apart, and then I need to assess everything. With this play, I already need new heads. Without the crack, it may have been okay. I could have replaced the valve and possibly it would still seal around that one, I'm not sure, but with the crack in that, that's definitely garbage now. Something also hit and put a... Actually, I'm gonna assume we dropped a valve and the valve hit. Maybe it didn't drop, but the valve at least made contact with the piston. So yeah, this is very, very frustrating. It's also a dent there as well, so, but it is what it is. Had absolutely no way of knowing that it was this bad, especially because I did have it running. Like I said, it wasn't very long. It was only running off of the fuel that I put in the carb, but it was running. So with having the valve damaged, the piston with a hole in it, the push rods that were worn so incredibly bad, I don't know what happened to this engine. It was definitely parked over there because of that. They knew it had damage because it had the replacement jugs in the front. They were used, but there were replacement jugs. So I don't know. I might give the guy a call, just to see if I can get some more info on it. But for now, that is going to at least end the video for tonight. Back again, it's another day. Engine is still on the stand. With the amount of damage that this engine has, the amount of work it's going to need, most likely a line bore, new bearings, I know one new head, new pistons, so that is not what I wanted to see. And without knowing the condition of the transmission, being an automatic, it is in park right now, and the bus still rolls around when you push it. So this bus will be going on the chopping block. I am not going to try to fix it. It is too big of a project for what I want right now. I've still got the bug here torn apart. I've got my other bus still torn apart. So I am going to sell the orange bus and try to use that money to finish up the bug. It sucks. I wanted to get this bus on the road, but this poor engine has, it's been through it. It needs a rest now. So I'm going to just sell it as is. Somebody, I'm sure, will take it. I mean, it's still a very good project bus. Engine is easily fixable, line bore, all that, or just get another engine and drop into it. I know where two of these engines are, but like I said, I don't want to tear into another project, that deep of another project rather. I didn't mind throwing a little bit of money at this just to get it roadworthy and be able to drive it and enjoy it while I'm doing the other two. But with it needing this much work and this being the Porsche engine, parts are a little bit more expensive for this one. So it is going to go on the chopping block. I'm going to sell it. But for now, let's at least tear this other side down, see what's in store for this side. I have not popped this valve cover off yet, so let's get that popped off there. I need a bigger screwdriver, and I need my other hand. I never would have thought this bus, or rather this engine, would have as much damage as it does, mainly because I did have it running. Granted, it wasn't a very long run time, but it still was running. And from these push rods, I mean, that is just insane. So that's normal. Right in here, nothing. And then you get to that. I mean, there's barely any material left there. And then you've got this one, which has a longer damage section. It's just been through it, so let me make sure you can see what I can see. So my thoughts on this were, oh look, yeah, somebody did some bad stuff to this engine. Immediately opening the valve cover, there's a washer. So somebody was in here, they did some things that most likely killed this engine. Shouldn't be a washer there. That is a smaller sized washer. So, oh, and then look here. So you've got a wavy washer, and then it looks like a lock washer. Different size nuts, actually different size studs. Yeah, somebody has just thrown this poor thing together. Mismatched parts. It's a wonder it just didn't blow all together. So she is no longer any good. Well, in the state that it is. Like I said, a line bore is most likely what it's going to need. So I'm going to say that's a 10. That looks maybe a 13. Yeah, I don't know about the whole lock washer thing. But that's definitely what it was. Yeah, let me get my other gloves. Yeah, that doesn't want to come off of there. I'm thinking somebody just jammed it on there. The threads look a little wonky. Yeah, she definitely doesn't want to come off easy. And that's the issue, it should. Let's see if I can get it to come off of there without flying apart, because I know that's what it's going to do. Come on up there. Yeah, there's a lot of material around these threads. So somebody was in here and did most of this damage. Somebody that shouldn't be messing with engines. I am not an engine builder, but I do know enough about them to not destroy them when I take them apart and put them back together. So let's see how pitiful. All right, so we got one good one. That's not bad. Yeah, not only are you going to need most likely 2 heads, a piston kit, which I had ordered and then I canceled the order before it came in. Oh, y'all had oil on you. That one's not bad. Pretty normal looking, which I'm hoping this side isn't as bad with damage. That's got some wear marks on it, but not horrible. Nothing compared to what the others are. Yeah, these look fairly good. No damage, no scoring on them. So let's zip these off and get this head off of here. Alright, so let's see what she does. Nothing. I didn't forget anything this time, did I? There's no tin wear on this side that I missed. That's what held it up. On the other side, yeah, there is. I'm going to assume that that's what's holding it. You don't want to do it this way if you're going to reuse your tubes. I mean, maybe if you lightly do it, but the whole point is to get the screwdriver to dig into the metal for the leverage, so I wouldn't suggest doing it on a good set. Let's see, where does that 10? Oh, look, another 10. Alright, those are out. Jugs are coming too. Very lightly. Jugs are trashed anyway, so even if I do break it, it's no big deal. Yeah, this side is much better. There is one little score mark on the head here, so we do have one good head. Ripped my glove already, go figure, right? So, one score mark there. Looks like something hit it. I don't see any cracking. There's a weird lip there. I don't know if that's meant to be there or not. It's on the other side as well, so maybe. Oh no, that's a metal gasket. Never mind. Metal gasket that isn't very round. Yeah. Huh. So, yeah, so that looks normal now. Yeah, that's all that it was. It's definitely black and sooty, so she was running rich, it looks like. The jugs on this side look very good, actually. No damage. So there is one good jug. The other jugs and pistons are in the front seat, so for shits and gigs I might just throw the engine back together, so that way when somebody buys it, it's together and not in a billion pieces. This one as well, nope, it's just carbon. Yeah, so this one looks good too. Can you see? Nice, shiny, no weird wear patterns. So 2 good jugs, looks like 2 good pistons on this side. The bottom end is what I'm worried about though. That's a lot of play. I'm gonna have to look up the tolerances and see what an acceptable amount of play is. I'm holding pressure on the piston head, so that's not, because if you do that, it feels like a ton of play. But if you hold pressure on it, you can just feel the bottom, the connecting rod. And yeah, it feels like too much to me. There's a little bit of damage there. Look, we've got that might have been from me, actually. Yeah, I believe that was from me. Got one of the lifters. Yep, so only thing is I don't have a piston ring compressor. Yeah, we can figure something out on that. All right, so I don't think I'm going to put the engine back together. Looking at those other pistons and jugs, those things are extremely rusty. They also have, not on this one, but the other two pistons, there's the really bad wear marks from whatever was going on in that cylinder. So it looks like these probably were replacements, and it was just some other problem. It wasn't just a top end problem. It seems like there's too much slop in that bottom end. So my theory on this is they had it running and driving and replaced the top end. They just did a quick refresh on it. And in doing that, the bottom end was the problem. So these new pistons and jugs just got tore up because they were not the problem. Where's my light? Right here. I don't see much damage in the bottom end. Let's see. Yeah, the bottom end looks okay. So I'm not sure where the metal from that piston went. With as damaged as the top of that piston is, it looks like it just destroyed itself and probably came out as little pieces. There is, actually I take that back. I think I see a piece. Great. Can't get that in there. Let me see if I can get you in there to see. So, right at the right corner of my light, there is a chunk of metal. Let's see. This might work. Yeah, that's a chunk of metal. I'm just pushing it farther back in there though. I don't have anything long enough to actually get it. Here we go. Oil dipstick, let's try that. Yeah, that's a Ah, I dropped it. That was a decent sized piece, so. Yep, I had it and dropped it. Damn, that sucks. But this case is gonna have to be split anyway to do the most likely line bore. New bearings. But other than that, I don't really see damage in the bottom end. There is that piece of metal, so yep, so she is no longer worth my time. So it is what it is. It sucks. I would have loved to keep this bus, get it on the road, and enjoy it while the others are still under the knife. But it sucks, but what can you do? You can't fix them all. This one definitely can be fixed, but for me, at this moment, it is not worth my time to do it, especially because I do have the other two already torn apart. The bug is sitting there crying, just asking for me to finish it. So the main reason I did this, which I have said in my previous videos, I had the green bus in here and I needed more room. So I have a lean-to on that side of my garage, and this orange bus was underneath of that lean-to. So I figured swap places of those and bring the orange one in. Since I did have it running, I figured, hey, just do the bare minimum to get it on the road and driving. Doesn't matter if it has rust holes. I fixed some of the rust holes with license plates. Just whatever I needed to do to get it on the road and driving under its own power. And then it would free up a bay in my garage. So that way I could move this body from over top of the chassis, have more room to work on it, and just it'll be a whole lot better workspace. So that was the thinking on this. Get the orange bus in, fix it up, get it out of the way, and then finish the bug, and then eventually finish the green bus. But it did not go to plan. I would have never thought in a million years, with the way that it did run, that it had this much damage. It does make sense from my thinking with the oil just coming out of every crevice that it can find. With that hole being in the piston, basically it is an air pump, and I feel like that air was pumping back into the case, and it was just, it had enough pressure to try to squeeze that oil out of everywhere. I don't know if that is actually what was going on, but it makes sense to me. One of the main issues was around this oil pressure sending unit. Actually, I can move that with my fingers, so that wasn't even tight. So yeah, whoever put this engine back together didn't put it back together with the right parts, and they also didn't tighten down everything. The heads were loose, so it is a shame, because if the prior owner had have had at least a little bit of knowledge about working on vehicles, this engine most likely wouldn't have been in this situation. There is a junkyard, the one that I keep talking about, that has 2 or 3, maybe 4, I don't know, maybe more, of this type of bus. I don't believe any of them are the automatics, but I could very easily get another engine. One that doesn't need to be line bored or anything like that. Most likely I could get one that just needs the top end rebuilt, and it would be good enough for now. But without knowing if that transmission works, it's just not worth it for me to keep dumping money into it. So I'm going to part ways with it. It sucks, but it's the way it goes. So I am sorry that this is a cut short series. I would have never began this if I knew how much damage there was on this engine. So to any new subscribers that are tuning in just for this build, it is not going to happen. Maybe if nobody buys it, then I will just stick it on the back burner and fix it later on. But for now, my priority needs to be the bug and the 71 bus. So everybody say goodbye to that rusty, crusty hunk of junk. And we will do more videos on the bug here soon. It's warming up. And as soon as I get this out of the way, I'm going to move that body where the orange bus is and have more room to work on it. So thank you all for hanging out and watching me attempt this repair to get it on the road. But things just didn't work out according to my plan. Thank you for everybody that has subscribed recently. We're nearing that 500 mark. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button to see what other projects may happen to come along. I am looking at a 61 Chevy Corvair wagon. It is a air-cooled American vehicle. I think it's a... no, I think it might be a 4-cylinder. I was going to say it might be a 6-cylinder. I don't know much about them. Actually, I know nothing about them. But what I do know is that they only made the wagon in 61 and like half of 62. So only like 10% of those cars are actually the wagons. So kind of a more rare car. And it's cool that it's air-cooled. So I know back in the day that a lot of people were taking the Corvair engines and putting them in the bugs, so or maybe it was vice versa, I can't remember. But yeah, see if I can get that. I haven't even seen pictures of it yet, but a good friend of mine knows where it is. It's in the woods. The guy doesn't really care for it. He doesn't want it, so I'm thinking I can get it for a good price. So stick around, see how that goes. Hopefully that'll be added to my collection. After the bug and bus is done, I will be jumping onto the Porsches. Me and my daughter are going to fix up the white car for her first car. She wants to learn vehicles, so I figured I would help her out with that. What a better way to learn than to get a busted up car that's been sitting in a field for a while and try to get it back on the road. So yeah, I'm rambling. Thanks for hanging out. I'll see you in the next one. Quick little insert here. I was wondering where the material went from that piston, since there was, you know, a giant hole in it. It is right here. There's a caked layer all on this head. Probably shouldn't do this with a good head, but this one is trash, so look at that. It made itself a new layer on this. That's why it looks completely different. It looks like a totally different material compared to this. Obviously not the black, but this metal material here just looks totally different. So that is where it went.